Welcome to SAT-TV News. I'm Alicia George. Thanks for joining us. In our top stories, 9 teachers to be awarded by Dominica Association of Teachers. Councillors of the Granby Village Council committed to community development. From the region, Jamaica government to review e-cigarette ban. And internationally, UN calls for $1 billion to fight Ebola virus. Details of these and other stories will follow. Welcome back. 9 teachers from different levels of education will be recognized for their contributions toward the profession during this year's Observation of Teachers Day taking place on Friday, October 3rd. President of the Dominica Association of Teachers, DAT, Cillian Nicholas, said this year's theme for the event is It Starts with a Teacher. She noted they will host a rally at the Ansdeme playing field from 8:30 on that day, where teachers island-wide will converge to engage in various sporting activities and prayer.
We normally, every activity that we have, we normally recognize our teachers. And we are going to do it this year too. Those who have passed prior to their retirement, we are going to do it posthumously. We are going to recognize them. And I would just like to say something about that, because in one instant, when we did ask for the information concerning one of the teachers who had died, the comment was, if it's only now. What the DAT does, we recognize when our teachers retire, we recognize them. We don't expect them to die before they retire. So if they have died prior to that, we still feel that we have to do something. But of course, we do it seeking permission first from the family.
She said it is customary of the DAT to recognize all teachers as soon as they have retired from the profession.
The parliamentary representative for the area already, Mr. Walter, he has agreed to welcome us to his area. And then the person, Mr. Dupy, the fire chief, he's from the area. He's going to give the feature address for the occasion. And we also have a religious part of it. So the priests and the pastors of the area, they have consented to lead us in that area. We are very conscious too that we are going to have a crowd, so the health team in that area is also going to assist us. They have been invited and they will be there in case anything happens.
His Excellency Charles Sabre will deliver a speech on behalf of teachers during the day's event. The DAT president added that International Teachers Appreciation Day will be observed on Thursday, October 2nd, where teachers around the world will be recognized for the hard work. 8 councillors were on Friday sworn into the Granby Village Council. Speaking at the inauguration ceremony, John Fontaine, local government commissioner, advised the new council members to give their best effort for the operation of the council.
Your involvement in the CBOs in this community and the experiences that you have gained over the years will surely assist in moving this council forward and to maintain the reputation that this council and this community have made for itself over the years.
Fontaine reminded the group that the role of local government is to provide service to its residents and to build community capacity.
Local government is well positioned, and the Granby Village Council, you are well positioned to build the capacity of the community. You have already started to help utilize and build networks and skills. You are blessed with a broad human resource base, in particular public servants.
Meanwhile, Edward Regis, new chairperson of Granby Village Council, said the council is ready to work in the best interests of the community. Regis pointed out that Granby requires strong and organized leadership that will allow for greater community development.
If we do not organize ourselves, if we do not plan properly, then the community cannot move forward. And so we will require each and every one of us to make our contributions, to invest our talents and our skills to lead the community.
Members of the council include Chairman Edward Regis, Amor Thomas, Margaret Toussaint, Reynold Alcendo, Beverly Douglas, Anthony Thomas, and Erlene Leta. One member of the council was unable to attend. A number of activities have been planned for the month of October and November as the Dominica-Cuba Friendship Association's Cuba Scholarship Program observed its 35th anniversary on October 30th, 2014. President of the Dominica-Cuba Friendship Association, Frankie Lowe, at a press conference called on Monday, said the scholarship program has positively changed the outlook of Dominica's workforce. He said as a result, a number of individuals have been trained in a wide field of areas, including electrical and civil engineering, medicine, and agriculture.
It also gave a lot of poor people the opportunity to earn careers. Like in those days, it would have been Mr. So-and-so who would have been able to go and study. I got the opportunity myself. I'm an electrical engineer. I got the opportunity myself. I remember asking, for help, and I was unable to get help at the time until I was successful in the Cuban Scholarship Program. So, on behalf of Dominicans, I want to express our gratitude to the people and government of Cuba, and also Dominica, for the initiative.
Other activities include a church service and a reading fair to be staged in the community of Jubic, where books will also be donated to students. A reunion is also on the cards. Individuals who studied in Cuba, as well as those who benefited from the Cuba ICARE program, will also participate.
And also we are looking at some form of activity where each specialty can actually give back to the community in a tangible way. Right? So all those activities will form part of the 35th anniversary of celebration. And also we are looking at launching a magazine. It would be the second magazine of its type, actually documenting the progress of the Cuban scholarship and giving an account of, where we are and the position that the graduates actually hold in the Dominican society today. So all these activities, I urge you to, look out for. The official date is October 30th. That's the day that the first set, the pioneers really, had left and had gone to Cuba.
Cuban ambassador to Dominica, Joana Elena Ramos, told those present at the news conference that to date 332 individuals have graduated from the Cuba Scholarship Program. The ambassador added that this year 6 new Dominican students embarked on studies in the field of medicine in Cuba.
Cuba and Dominica have a long history of solidarity and friendship between our governments and peoples. I think that we at this moment we are very close, both not only governments and peoples. And really, we appreciate the solidarity of Dominica with Cuba in the case of the Cuban 5, also in our fight against the blockade. Year by year, the Dominica asked the U.S. government to lift the blockade against Cuba at the United Nations. Then, really, our relations are very close and in cooperation in many fields.
Under the Cuban Scholarship Program, Dominicans benefit from full scholarships. These scholarships include accommodation, tuition, and meals. DOMLEC's first ever female general manager, Bertilia McKenzie, says she is ready to take on the challenge the role entails. However, her 16-year experience working for the company as human resource and administration manager will prove to be advantageous. She made the statement during a press conference on Tuesday, following her appointment by the chairman and board of directors of DOMLEC as general manager of the company on Monday.
We are all aware that DOMLEC provides an essential service in Dominica, and I'm fully cognizant of the critical role that the entity, which is DOMLEC, plays in the socio-economic life of Dominicans. And for me, I deem it to be an awesome responsibility to have been placed at the helm of this organization. DOMLEC has organizational objectives, corporate objectives, which it has to meet. In fact, we have a 5-year strategic plan. And my personal goal is to ensure that DOMLEC achieves these objectives.
Some of the objectives, as outlined by her, include improving DOMLEC's quality of their supply of electricity, improving the reliability of their electricity supply, and to ensure employees and/or contractors operate in a safe environment when providing service to customers.
What I would really, really like to see as head of DOMLEC is that our customers would accept our service not because they have no choice, but because the quality of the service is at the level that they would like to stay with Domlek. And that is what I would really like to see as CEO of this entity.
In her new role, Mackenzie will be a member of the EMRA Caribbean leadership team and will have access to expertise within the group to support her in her new role. The EMRA team will also rely on guidance from her and be able to draw on her experience as it seeks to build a regional business to the benefit of all stakeholders, customers, employees, and shareholders. For the past 2 months, Mackenzie served as acting general manager of Domlek and assumes to the role of general manager at a time when the company prepares for a new energy environment with the proposed introduction of geothermal energy. When we return, the United Workers' Party presents its alternative plans to revitalize the banana industry. Find out what those plans are when SAT-TV News returns. Welcome back. The economic team of the United Workers' Party, UWP, has said that it will revitalize the banana industry if elected into government. Speaking at a press conference on Monday, leader of the economic team, Dr. Thompson Fontaine, said the problems facing the banana industry can be addressed if effective measures are implemented.
We understand that it is challenging, but we also understand that there is a system, there's a process in place that can be done. We've had problems before in the banana industry that were overcome. We had coconuts that was overcome, and we believe that we can overcome the problem of black cicotoca by dealing with it deliberatively and ensuring that we overcome these issues.
Dr. Fontaine said the UWP government will redirect its public sector investment program towards rehabilitation of the agricultural sector.
The UWP government will redirect its public sector investment program, already financed to the tune of $170 million, towards a comprehensive rehabilitation of the agriculture sector, to include the opening up of over 1,000 acres of new lands, including in bananas, the rebuilding and construction of feeder roads, the cultivation and rehabilitation of key cash crops, and the building and operation of factories for the processing of fruits, root crops, and essential oils.
Meanwhile, former Prime Minister and founding member of the United Workers' Party, Edison James, revealed the UWP is already in discussion with Windfresh and intends to inject in the region of $50 million into the agricultural sector.
Bananas is the only fruit which has allowed us to operate on the European and world market, and so it is critical that we get there. As I understand it, Team Dominica intends to invest in the region of up to $50 million in the agricultural sector, with $1,000 of rehabilitation and re-establishment of bananas, 1,000 acres in the rehabilitation and expansion of the banana sector. And the Windfresh discussions have already begun with Windfresh, and Windfresh is keen to obtain bananas from these parts to re-establish the commodity in the United Kingdom market.
James said because of the drop in banana export globally, there is now much more room on the international market for Dominica's banana industry to make a comeback. And patrons will have to wait a little while longer, as no new act has been announced by the DFC to perform at the upcoming World Creole Music Festival, WCMF. It was expected that a major Caribbean artist would be announced during a WCMF press conference on Tuesday. However, according to WCMF promoter Leroy Wadix Charles, the act will be announced at a later date. Charles gave little details about the performer, only to say that the act appeals to the younger generation.
Things are shaping up. We are just getting set to release the name of our final act, but we are not quite ready to do so. So hopefully by the next press conference we will do so. So the final act, it's a major act. It's from the Caribbean, it's from the region. It is geared towards the younger patrons, will be announced at a future press conference.
Charles also spoke of the Calypso component of the WCMF, where Calypsonians including King Dice, Scrunter, Daddy Chess, and The Web will perform road march hits from the 1960s to present day. Meanwhile, Dominica Festivals Committee, DFC Events Assistant Marva Williams, urged patrons to prepare for fringe activities expected to begin on September 26th with Festival Duive at the Crazy Coconuts Complex.
The first Duive will feature a well-known local band who is on the lineup this year, Triple K Global, and of course Ecstasy Band. Just to talk about Ecstasy Band, they are one of the younger bands, and they will make their debut on the World Choral Music Festival stage this year.
The formal launch of the 2014 Independence celebrations will also take place on September 26. In the meantime, Leroy Wadix Charles will continue to promote the World Choral Music Festival in the French Antilles. He is expected to leave the island on Wednesday. This has been the local segment of the news.